Hello, welcome to another Cascade Crochet video. Today I'm going to be talking about Crochet Buddies. Here you can see my little crochet buddy, Johan, my beautiful Manx, who has kindly consented to being here for, probably half a minute while I film my video so that you can see my little friend. He's such a good boy. Alright, now he's got the squirmies and he wants to go. Alright. Bye, buddy. Thank you. You're a superstar. So, Crochet Buddies. That's what I want to talk about. I said I'd do something lighthearted, and that's the video. Also, at the end of the last video, that was thunder. So, we've just got a storm crackling on at the moment. Now, let me put my microphone back on. So, now that I've got Johan off my lap, I can use this, and he's fastidiously grooming himself now because apparently smelling like mum is not okay. Children, what do you do with them? So Crochet Buddies can be your pets, can be your children, can be your spouses. It's really important, I think, to have someone there that you can kind of share your experiences with, especially if you're designing, because you're going to go through periods of frustration and be like, oh, I just don't know if I like how this looks, or periods where you do get disappointed, and we just talked about that. And having a crochet buddy, whether it's a four-legged, two-legged, multiple-legged, if you keep spiders, and I don't know why you would, but you do you. As many legged or finned or feathered friend, it's always important to have a little bit of company while you're doing your crochet. So I guess for me, so I started crochet when I had Rubek, who unfortunately passed away, and he was the perfect crochet cat. So I could sit balls of yarn on him and unravel them, and unravel them all over the top of him, and he would never move. He would never touch my yarn. He was just always like, yarn is off limits. Johan, however, has a very different personality. He's not much of a couch sitter, which I'm hoping with the new couch, maybe he'll sort of come around to couch sitting for a little bit. Who knows, fingers crossed. But if I'm crocheting and he wants my attention, he will actually jump up sort of onto the side of the couch or the footstool or wherever he can get to me and pull the yarn out of my hands. So I might be like, no, and he'll just grab the yarn and pull it out. And I'm like, dude, don't do that. So we've come to an agreement that he gets ribbons, so he loves his ribbons, and he kind of knows the verbal cue of Johan's ribbon, mummy's ribbon. So mummy's ribbon we don't touch, and for the most part he won't touch it unless he really, really wants attention, and then he tries to grab it out of my hands, which is, I shouldn't laugh when he does it because I know that it just encourages him, but he does it anyway. But also, onto the most important part of having a crochet buddy. When I'm actually working, so designing something, and I come to a stitch, I'm like, I don't know if that works, and I'll do a little bit more. I'm like, I'll literally go take it over to him, shove it in his face, and he'll sniff it, and he'll just look at me like, what do you expect me to do with this? And I'll say, do you like it? What do you think? I'm like, I could do it like this, or I could do it this different way. And just actually talking it out, out loud, normally leads me to the answer to my question more often than not. And if you have a human crochet buddy, whether that's your kids or your spouse, they can sometimes offer even better advice, because they might say, because you say, okay, so I can do it with this pattern, or I could do it with this pattern, so it'd look like this, or it'd look like this, and they can give you a completely unbiased and I guess really impartial, very design only focused opinion. So they might not know how to crochet, they have no idea what you're doing, but they know what they like, they know what they think looks good. So you can get that opinion, which is really handy. So sometimes I'll bring stuff into my husband, I'll be like, what do you think about this? Blah, blah, blah. I did it this way and then I did it that way. So might do like half a row of one stitch and then half a row of another stitch. I'm like, which one looks better? And he'll be like, that one or that one. So, you know, a crochet buddy can be a massive amount of help. As well as that, you can always have your friends as crochet buddies. So if you have like Facebook Messenger, you can send them photos and be like, hey, tell me if you think this looks good. And they might be crocheters themselves and they might sort of really like, you know, the way that you've put stitches in. They might be able to offer some advice, like, if it was me, I'd do this because I like the way that this looks, and then, you know, it turns out to be this at the end, and you go, yes, that is brilliant. Or they say that and you're just like, that's really you, but that's not me. That's like not what I'm going for. And then that can kind of solidify your own decision. Because honestly, when you're, well, what I've found is that when you're uncertain of something, you're kind of already biased towards one option or another. So sometimes when you take something to someone, you internally want them to say what you're already thinking. So like it's should I finish with a row of single crochet or should I finish with a row of shells? So here's shells and here's single crochet, and you're thinking, I want them to say single crochet because I think that looks better. So, you know, you've probably already got a little bit of an unconscious bias there. But if you don't, yeah, just showing it to somebody else or showing your pet, no matter what they are, and sort of talking, like just talking it out, you know, oh, Johan, what do you think about this stitch? It's like, is this too much? Like, does this look too busy, or does that look too plain? And it's like you just kind of look at them, and they just like look at you, and they're like, does this question relate to food, or like, you know, what's going on? It's like, you know, if it relates to food, I'm all on board for it. But if it doesn't relate to food, I don't really care, and I just want to go back to sleep. But you know, sometimes just talking it out, even if it's just between yourself and your maybe slightly overweight house cat with a bunny tail and no actual tail. Can't tell you how long that took me to get used to. Like literally going to pat the cat and then it just ends where the tail's supposed to be, and he's just got this little nub. And, you know, he'll go to do something. When he gets happy, you just see the little tuft of fur pop up. It's hilarious. But yeah, talking to your slightly overweight house cat, you know, might help you. Or it might be your dog, and you know, they'll kind of give you the look and the head tilt, and you'll be like, you know what, that's right. I definitely agree with that. You know, because you kind of know what they're thinking. You know, you show it to your bird, and your bird might like be like, you know, bob their head for one and then scream for the other one. It's like, okay, then let's go with the one that didn't involve screaming. Or your fish might get really excited, or your lizard or your snake, or, you know, whatever it is that you have, might get super excited, you know. Or you might think about it, you don't have anyone at home to talk to, you might not have pets or anything, so you might go outside with it. And you're just like, all right, if it's this, you know, like you might just really be thinking about it, and you kind of like say in your head, if it's this stitch, then show me a sign. If it's this stitch, then you know, just do nothing. And you might sit out there for a while, and then all of a sudden, a flock of birds flies overhead, and you're just like, that's enough of a sign for me. So they're still your crochet buddies. They might just be wild crochet buddies, and that's fine. You know, so basically, this is obviously a very light-hearted video. We're having a bit of a joke, but having, I guess, a second party there that kind of knows you but doesn't really know crochet is very handy just for, I guess, aesthetics, really. Because you're like, oh, I did this thing, or I'm like, oh, I made the star shawl, but I added the netting. What do you think about that? My husband's like, oh, I really like that. Like, otherwise it would have looked too plain, and he'll go into a little explanation about it, and I'm just like, he's really starting to understand a lot of crochet terms, and he's seen obviously everything that I've designed because he's always part of the process, and he'll give me like a really detailed explanation, like, I really like that because otherwise it's too plain, like it gives a really good design element, but then it's also breezy, so it's good for the weather. And it's like you're in my brain. So Crochet Buddies, if you don't have them, friends, family, pets, your neighbor, just sometimes you need somebody there to talk it out with. And sometimes our pets and our family are the best kind of crochet buddies that we could ever ask for. Okay, so yes, this might come off as a little bit of a crazy post, but you know what? That's fine. That's me. That's why you're here, for the stream of consciousness and me just sort of going, off with my crazy ideas. Anyway, last lipstick color. Okay, so it's again the Kat Von D vinyls. This color, it is Tulip. It is so red, you guys. Like, it is so red, I don't think I ever want to take it off. You know me and my love of red lipstick. So the color is called Tulip, in case you want to buy it on its own. So that is the pack. So Exo Vinyl Obsession. So, and that's just like a mini pack, but you can, I believe you can buy like them all individually, like from Sephora or other stores. I always get my makeup from Sephora because it's so easy to order online. I love online shopping. My bank balance hates me for online shopping. But when I get the rare opportunity to online shop, it's normally something from Sephora or something from Hobby, or something from Tragic Beautiful, because I'm doing my very best to live hot goth summer. Anyway, that's enough from me. 3 videos in one day. I think you're all pooped. So I've still got a couple of videos on the list here. I won't be recording tomorrow. I probably won't be recording tomorrow. It'll just depend, because Ben's got 3 days off now, so we normally like to hang out because his work schedule is like so the 3 videos that I have left that I really wanted to talk about are how to self-publish. So that'll be me walking you through the steps of publishing on Ravelry. But I'll literally go from converting your Microsoft Word document into a PDF and going from there. Then I wanted to do another video on how to advertise. So, and my focus is really going to be on how to social media advertise. Just because I find that the community for crocheting, we are a large community, yes, but by some elements we are still a small community. So you really need to know sort of how to target the people who are most likely to want to participate in your patterns. So I might discuss a little bit about affiliate programs as well. I'm currently not doing any affiliate programs just because I have the intention of getting more patterns under my belt. Like, I don't feel super comfortable, looking at affiliate patterns, programs, sorry, probably until I have like 30 patterns under my belt, and I'm nowhere near that. You guys can look on my Ravelry, you'll see that. And then the final video I wanted to talk to you about is basically, this is a really important one for me personally, which is basically sort of digging in your heels and pushing forward. So this, I guess, is the penultimate explanation of when you get sort of discouraged, when you feel disappointment, when your vision and your reality don't mix, when you're feeling burnt out, when you just look at crochet and you just think, I just don't want to look at that anymore. When you've tried to publish and you perhaps haven't had the results that you wanted to, basically how to push forward from that. Because I've been in every single one of those positions and I'm still going. I will admit that doing the Parrots in Flight shawl in the pink and grey has slightly been me sort of, I guess, trying to avoid my next pattern, simply because I've chosen the wrong yarn to design it in. So I've pulled out some wool, some acrylic DK weight. So I'm hoping that will move things on a little bit faster and I won't feel like as frustrated. But that again is something that I will talk about. Like, sometimes you're like, yeah, I really want to do my pattern in this particular yarn, and then you're just like, this is taking forever and I feel like I'm not making any progress. So I want to talk to you about that. I feel like that's really important to talk about. So those are going to be my last 3 videos that, like, from my list. But trust me, there's like way more ideas bouncing around in my brain. So if you want to tune along and keep going after this how to self-publish series, and how to design series is finished, I would be more than happy to have you along, because I'm probably going to look at showing you some specific examples of how to design particular items. So I'll go sort of more in depth in, say, how to design a shawl, how to design a bag, how to design a skirt, how to design a shirt. So you'll get I guess a little bit of a head start, depending on what you want to do, of course. You'll get a little bit of a head start on the process. So because sometimes it's really hard to know where to start with your project. You're just like, okay, I want to make a bag, and you're just not quite sure what you're supposed to do once you've made that decision. So I want to show you some easy tips on starting the process, and sort of starting the trial and error process, and just kind of giving you a little bit of help with that. Anyway, so that's enough from me. Look forward to the next 3 videos over the course of maybe the next week. And yeah, come have a look at me on Twitch. Like, watch me make a fool of myself in real time. Ask me questions. I will give you answers to the best of my ability. If I don't know the answers, trust me, I'll Google them, because that's my go-to. It's like, we don't know the answer to this, and I'm always like, I'll Google it. Which you already know about me if you've watched all my videos. knows? Anyway, that's enough for me. Have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful whenever this gets out to you, and I will see you real soon. Mwah. Bye.